Hello everyone and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. So yesterday we talked about how former Soviet bloc communists have resurfaced in the environmental movement. Today, a look at what their plan is and what it's based on. Well, in short, global domination through junk science. Let's start with the junk science. The only scientists who are writing papers and giving talks about the dangers of global warming are the ones getting millions of dollars in government grant money. The global warming nonsense is a scam beyond anything else in history. But you don't have to take my word for it. That assessment is from the meteorologist who founded the Weather Channel. John Coleman says, quote, "Global warming is a non-event, a manufactured crisis, a total scam," end quote. For our socialist pinko commie friends like Al Gore and company, a funny thing happened on the way to the polar ice cap meltdown. The Earth's temperature started dropping again. In fact, each year since 1998, the temperature has dropped noticeably. So, what do the liars do now? Well, they rename the crisis. Just a year or two ago, it was called global warming, and everyone was talking about it. But when the warming stopped and the cooling off began, the enviro crowd faced its own crisis. You can't talk about global warming when everyone is freezing. So, the leading environmentalists went to a Madison Avenue advertising company and hired them to come up with a new term. And today, we're all talking about climate change. Whoever defines the terms of the debate usually wins the argument. Here's how the theory goes. The fluctuations in the Earth's temperature are due to an overabundance of carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere. Man is responsible for all this additional carbon dioxide, so man and his behavior must be controlled. That means limiting the number of humans on the planet. That means population control. Placing strict limits on all human activity which involves carbon dioxide, such as driving, flying, watching plasma TVs, using light bulbs, producing too much garbage, etc. In order to pass these laws and enforce them, a new government needs to be put in place, financed by taxes and fines on all those nasty little carbon-producing humans. That was the point of the recently ended Copenhagen conference in December, attended by dozens and dozens of governments from all around the world. But hold the gas. The first premise, that carbon dioxide is causing the Earth's climate change, is pure rubbish. Hardly a scientist worth his weight in PhDs believes that. As we said earlier, the only ones who subscribe to that very unscientific theory are the guys in labs on the take with your tax dollars. The governments that support increased taxes, which means all of them, pay these scientists to produce data which supports the lie that humans are causing the planet's climate change. These reports are then published in the media, which backs the left-wing agenda, and voila, the next thing you know, you're all talking about climate change. But here's a little problem. 31,000 reputable scientists in the U.S. alone have signed a petition calling this charge pure bunk, and there are some pretty impressive names on this list. It's called the Global Warming Petition Project, and you can check it out for yourself. Just Google it, Global Warming Petition Project. No matter, 31,000 scientists who disagree with left-wing communist propaganda aimed at gobbling up the sovereignty of nations and the wealth of their citizens is no challenge to the liberal elite. They just keep repeating the same lie over and over and over. They hold events like Earth Day and other hippie-sounding events to make it all so sweet and love the planet looking. They keep publishing junk science reports, and leftist radical media, which is just about all of them, keep scaring you with it. What most people may not realize as of yet is that almost every government in Western civilization operates from a socialist mindset. The state is supreme, not the citizen, and most especially not God. Socialism is anti-church and anti-Christ. That's why every pope back to the 19th century has condemned it. Yet the major political leaders in the West today are all socialists, in practice, if not in name. They're never satisfied with the amount of control they have. They want more and more. And the environmental movement has given them the perfect weapon to seize more control. Like Obama's dirty, shrimpy little sidekick, Rahm Emanuel, said publicly, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Oh, but wait, what if there isn't a crisis? What do you do then? Well, like any good left-wing liberal commie pinko socialist, you lie and you invent one. Make no mistake, the environmental movement is not about saving the planet. It doesn't need saving. It's about socialists gaining more control over nations to advance their antichrist agenda. The nickname among conservatives for the enviro wacko crowd is watermelons. green on the outside, red on the inside. Tomorrow, how religion is being used by the socialists to gain power, all in the name of saving the planet. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.